In this video, I'm going to be talking about a build that I've been having a lot of fun with, and it's called the Mad Vyke Frenzy plus Madness build. So obviously we get the name from the weapon Vyke's War Spear, which is the bread and butter of this build. The skill move is really sick. You go up in the air, you come crashing down and do madness damage, which is very unique to the weapon itself. Not a lot of weapons do madness damage. As you can see, we're fighting the NPC invader Vyke, who has the weapon, and he's at the Church of Inhibition, kind of northeast of Lernia Lakes. The cool thing about this build is Vyke Spear applies madness. Only a few weapons do this. Madness can CC enemies. You apply enough madness, the enemy or the player gets stun locked essentially, and then you can attack them while they're standing still. There's good high burst damage, good weapon attack range. You can easily stance break enemies. We also dual wield with the giant lance, and if you want to use this on your main hand, there is the option of an Ashes of War, and you could probably put Bloodhound Step or anything of your choosing. You heard the pros, let's talk about the cons. When you do Vyke's skill move, it can kind of leave you open for attack, so you have to time it. Weapon attacks can be a bit slow. I mean, it is a heavier weapon, and attacks can waste a lot of stamina, so we are going to be using the Green Turtle Talisman for this build. Overall, I've been pretty happy with the build, and I just wanted to share it, put it out there. I'm going to show you what equipment to get and how to play the build essentially. We are playing as a wretch just so we could kind of maximize our stats, and we do start at level 1. So the Red Hot Wet Blade, it'll put Flamar on your lance, which will give it fire damage. The Vyke War Spear also does fire damage, so that synergizes well with Flame Grant Me Strength, and it stacks with Golden Vow. They don't override each other, so you're just going to get double the attack power buff with that. We're also going to get Frenzied Burst, Flame Cleanse Me, Erdtree's Favor, Green Turtle Talisman, Radagon Sword Seal, and Two Fingers Heirloom. We can only get 3 slots for the Talisman right now, so you can flex spot Two Fingers Heirloom or Green Turtle's Talisman, it's your choice. So as you could see, we're level 70, our Vigor's at 37, Mind is at 18, Endurance is at 24, Strength is at 21, Dexterity is at 25, Int is at 10, Faith is at 30, and Arcane is at 10. We have decent HP, good FP, and a pretty solid stamina. Our equip load is good, so we can wear heavy armor. Since the Vyke is plus 5, it's going to be at 392, and the Lance at plus 5 is going to be 301 attack. But when we buff up, we're going to be at 541 and 416, and since we have the Flame Art on Lance, it's going to help buff the damage on it. Alright, so you've seen the build, you've seen what items we need. Now let's talk about fight setup. You want to use Flame Grant Me Strength first, and then Golden Vow, and then we do a mana pot, and they both stack over each other, which is really nice. I kind of open up with a Frenzy Burst in PVE. There are a bunch of spells we can use, but this is a very not optimized build, because we're only level 70. I didn't do a lot of exploring to get everything I wanted. The light attack of the power stance hits really hard. You'll do some initial hits, and then you'll follow it up with a big hit. So we're doing pretty decent damage against a dragon. I mean, we're doing fire damage, so it's not super effective. Oh man, that was a good hit. So since this is a heavier weapon, when you do attacks, you're gonna stagger the enemy with a higher chance than, say, like a sword. Okay, there we use the skill move. We're using fire on a dragon, which isn't really effective, but we're still doing damage. Hitting him with some jump heavy, some light attacks. And again, we stagger him, bro. We are rinsing out this dragon right now. He stands no chance. He's probably resistant to fire, but we don't care. We're just gonna kill him. Bam. And we are only level 70, by the way, so you can clear a lot of content with this build, and when you level it up, it's just gonna get better. Okay, I'm gonna show you one more scenario, but with an NPC invader. So right off the bat, we do the skill move. This guy's a little bit tanky with the shield, so it didn't do too much damage right there. Okay, we tagged him and we got the madness debuff on him. Just doing some damage, trading. When I broke his stance, I don't know why I didn't get the critical hit there. So we're doing some running power stance attacks. Just avoid his attack. The jump attack on this is really nice. He tried to parry me right there. Ooh, we just missed with the skill move. Running again with dual wield. Pretty nice. Because it does a few hits and then the final attack will do big damage if it connects. Oh man, we got him with the madness. Bam. I love this build for the NPC fights. It's so good against them. This is my first build video, so I know this is going to be a little bit long, but now I'm going to show you the equipment you need and where to get everything. So Erdtree's Favor is in Fringe Folk Hero's Grave, a dungeon in the very beginning of the game. I suggest you start with Stone Sword Key so you can unlock it, and it's a pretty good talisman. I highly recommend you get it. Next up on the list, we're going to get the Lance, which is located east of Stormvale Castle. You're going to see a ruined building right here. You got to be on the top of the cliffside to jump down, and it's going to be right there on the edge. Next up, we got the Green Turtle Talisman, gives us stamina recovery, and if you go further east along the road, you're going to find Summon Water Village, and that's where it's at. If you go southeast of that location, you'll find Fort Gale. Flame Grant Me Strength is guarded by 2 flamethrower dudes, and it's on the outside of the fort, not on the inside. Alright, now we're going to head over to Lernia Lakes, and there's a place called Purify Ruins, and that's where you get the 2-finger heirloom, gives you +5 faith. Head further north and you'll find the Flame Cleanse Me, which alleviates Scarlet Rot and Poison, which is pretty nice for PvE. Just run into the Firemonk camp, just grab the item, and then dip out. So there are a few ways you can get north of Lernia Lakes where we're at, kind of northeast, but you got to do a little bit of parkouring right here by the Erdtree to avoid that Tower of Madness, because when you're a low level, it could be pretty rough, and you can build up madness really quick and they'll just kill you. So take that shortcut, and we're heading right here where the red arrow is to get the Frenzy Burst, which is just south of where Vyke the Invader is. And then finally, the spear right here is the Church of Inhibition. So this is where you fight the NPC Invader. You need to kill him to get the weapon, so that's why I kind of put it last, so you can get your build together. And when you're finally confident enough, you can take him out. He might take you a couple of tries, but you'll get him. So from Lernia Lakes, we're going to go to Caelid, which is very east of the map. We're going to go to a place called Fort Feroth, and when you get inside this fort, just run by these bats. They're not going to kill you. You climb up the ladders, and then you head to the right, you jump down here. You want to just move quickly here because there's invisible enemies that'll pop out of stealth and kill you. They're really strong. And you want to fall down the 3rd hole. Yeah, right here. So you go down. And this part's a little bit tricky, but you gotta hug the wall right here and make a quick jump. And then hug the wall again and then fall down, just avoid the rat. And the Radagon Sword Seal is right there. Next up on the list is the Red Hot Wet Blade. So we need this to put the flame art on our lance, because putting the fire on our lance will synergize well with Flame Grant Me Strength. I'll walk you through this a little bit, so go behind the fort, and then you'll find some ladders here. Climb up them. There's going to be a bunch of enemies, but you just want to keep moving. Yeah, make your way on the top of the keep. Eventually, you'll get to the lower level. And you just want to keep moving. You're going to go through this kind of barricade area, go up these stairs. There's going to be a lot of enemies with flamethrowers here, so just keep moving. And you make a left, go all the way down this kind of path. And you can see the torch on the door. We're going to head in there. and that's how you get the red hot wet blade. Last on the list is the Golden Vow. It's at Corpse Den Shack up in Mount Gilmere, that's very north of the map. And when you get here, you're gonna get invaded by an NPC called Anastasia Tarnish Eater. She's very difficult. If you let her attack you, she could one-shot you. So I did my skill, I timed it. He ate some of that madness damage, and then I just did a power stance light attack while running at her, and we just killed her. We rinsed her. Like I said, this build does a lot of damage, and we're only level 70, so once you get to a higher level, it's just going to be doing that much more damage. So if you want to switch it up from Vyke's skill move, you can use the Lance to put in Ashes of War, and I suggest you get the Bloodhound Step, which you get from this Knight Cavalry, which is very east of Caelid on the smaller bridge, not the bigger one. Yeah, you go right there in the corner. The Knight Cavalry, he'll jump up and kind of do that lunge attack, and he'll fall to his death. You might suicide, you might get lucky, but that's how you get the Bloodhound Step, the easy way. I know this vid is a bit long, but I appreciate you watching. This armor I got is from D, and this one I got from Bernal. So if you want to know where they are, just check the NPC locations for that. I appreciate you watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.